All right, moving on, artificial intelligence, AI is no longer just a futuristic concept, it's a workplace reality. Employees worldwide are embracing AI to streamline tasks, enhance productivity, and focus on more meaningful work. And according to Freshworks' global AI workplace study, a staggering 92% of employees want to automate parts of their workday. And in Malaysia, the government's 60 million ringgit investment in AI development and education under Budget 2025 signals a strong commitment to advancing AI adoption. As businesses rapidly integrate AI-driven tools, the focus now shifts to how employees can maximize these advancements to improve efficiency and also career growth. And with Malaysia's digital economy evolving at an unprecedented pace, how is AI reshaping the modern workplace? So to help us unpack, joining me on the line right now is Simon Ma, the Managing Director, Asia at Freshworks. Good morning.
Good morning, Nabila. Very happy.
All right, Simon, firstly, AI adoption among employees in Malaysia is accelerating, and beyond efficiency, what fundamental shifts in work culture are driving this change, and how can companies ensure a smooth transition? Please.
Yeah, so I think you touched on a good point. The AI adoption in Malaysia is really taking off, and we see a few key areas that are fueling the shift. As you mentioned earlier, the Malaysian government has been very proactive. And they have rolled out strategic initiatives with the aim to triple the AI workforce by 2025. So we had the Malaysian Digital Economy Blueprint, the AI Roadmap, and now even in the Malaysia, the most recent budget, 50 million ringgit towards AI education. So I think that is really exciting for Malaysians. There has also been a significant influx of investments from global tech leaders. This about $16.9 billion worth of investments just from the key tech players like Amazon, Google, Oracle, and Microsoft are really building infrastructure over here and making Malaysia a tech hub. And on the other side, though, there is also something that has been fueling that growth on the ground. AI has been democratized. It is very easy for someone who has no background in IT or no background in AI to really leverage AI and be much more productive at work. And that has been the shift, one of the key reasons why there's a shift in the way organizations are starting to look at, hey, how should I structure the role? How should I transform the team makeup? And what's the best way to position my company to be much more competitive in future? 79% of Malaysian professionals we talk to believe that AI will be impacting their role in 2025. But also 59% of employers that we talk to realize that they want to hire more AI-related roles. So there is a lot of opportunities that are shaping out because of these investments. There is also a reshaping of roles that we see, that will occur across all different industries.
And of course, AI is here to help and not to replace human intuition. And Malaysia alone has allocated about 50 million ringgit for AI education. But we want to know, is formal education alone is enough? And what alternative learning methods, such as micro-credentials and also boot camps or mentorships, can actually accelerate AI literacy, in your opinion?
Yeah. So before we touch on that, maybe I would like to talk a bit about what AI can do and what AI will not be able to do, and where is the humans' position in this. I think you touched on a good point. AI is here, and AI is here to help us to automate the unwanted task so that we can focus a lot more on the meaningful task. And a lot of organizations are talking about it, and we hear it a lot. Hey, focus on higher value work. And what does that actually mean, right? Tasks that actually require critical thinking, strategic decision-making, and complex problem-solving, right? Essentially, work that drives much more innovation and impact for organizations is what AI is allowing us to do, because AI is very good at automating the repetitive task so that we can focus on these areas. But what AI will not be very good to, or rather humans are much better at, is tasks that involves complex problem-solving, strategic vision, as well as high emotional intelligence. And this is what we are seeing is driving that trend. And of course, because of that, there is a lot of increased productivity as well. And essentially, employees that harness AI today in our survey, we've seen that they can free up 3 to 4 hours of productivity time in 1 week, because AI is helping us to automate a lot of the mundane tasks like data entries, basic customer queries, or even the routine admin tasks. So not only does it help us to be much more productive, it also helps us to drive work-life balance, job satisfaction, because these employees that we surveyed are saying, hey, I now have more free time. I can use it to coach some of my newer team members. I can use it to manage my time with my family as well better.
Yep.
And this helps with talent retention. So it's really changing the expectations that employees have on employees as well. So that's also causing a shift. I think not only the employees having a mental shift, I think employers also are having this mental shift as well. And therefore now imagine if your employees have more mental bandwidth because they have more free time away from the tasks that are being automated. They have more mental bandwidth to help you to look at areas where they can drive improvements and impact and help companies maintain a competitive edge.
But like you mentioned, AI is meant to enhance productivity, but I believe there's an underlying consequences there, which some studies suggest that constant AI monitoring may lead to increased workplace pressure. So how can companies ensure that AI enhances employee well-being rather than adding stress? Simon.
Yeah, so I think that's a very, very valid good point. While 84% of most Malaysian employees and you and me as well, we all see that AI is a productivity booster rather than a threat. But like you rightly mentioned, it is very important to have the right culture and the right setup in organizations and with ourselves in order to make sure that AI becomes something that empower us and not paralyze us. AI is a journey, right? And with all new journeys, we have to foster a culture of constant learning and development. So what we always try to encourage employers and employees to do is understand that this is a journey of continuous learning, because the impact of AI might not immediately be realized at the start. We might not exactly know where are the areas of improvements because this is a journey. So imagine if your employees are having more time and they're freeing up 3 to 4 hours a week, and they're starting to look at projects and starting to look at ways to improve the organization. Some of this impact, we might not know where they're going to come from. So we have to be agile and we have to foster that culture that allows for this continuous learning and development. Keep employee skills fresh by helping them to invest in continuous learning, regular workshops, online courses, simple things like this. So this constant learning helps us to understand AI better. How do we use it at work? And then it doesn't become this pressure for organizations as well as the individual. I think it's very important as well for organizations to keep a open communication channel, keep taking in feedback, understand what is working on the ground and understand what is not working. And that constant feedback then feeds back into that agile and flexible organization that I was talking about. Because you need to be flexible and responsive in order to quickly adapt to new projects or new technologies and shifting markets. Right. So generally, that's how we advise the companies that we work with on how do they build that better culture for the employees.
And since the AI evolution in Malaysia is still a progressive stage, if you compare to global AI leaders like the US and also China, where does Malaysia stand in AI readiness, and what policies or perhaps investment could help bridge the gap, in your opinion?
Yeah, so I think there is AI that would be cutting edge, and there will be also AI that companies would use. So if I look at in Malaysia's context, there are a lot of SMEs here. And generally, in today's market, there are already a lot of AI solutions that companies can take. Solutions, for example, like Freshworks, who focus on trying to boost productivity and uncomplicate the whole software usage so that organizations can be much more competitive and they can create that better employee satisfaction. And that's where I feel most of Malaysian organizations today are embarking on. The early adopters of AI today are already having a 42% better productivity rate. And what we are seeing is that there are a lot of employees in organizations that have built up deep deep industry experience over the course of the time they work here. And what we realize is organizations that can leverage and harness AI to help these employees unleash the potential of the knowledge that they have, the deep experience that they have, to drive change within their organization, that has been really creating the impact. So if you ask me about the earlier question about AI advancements in different countries and where really the innovation is, where is Malaysia in this curve, I think it's important to realize that AI is a technology, and not forget that the deep industry experience that each of us have, having worked in I worked in our organization's industry for a long time, that is really important, because that experience is what AI cannot do.
And as AI continues to advance at a very rapid pace, what strategies can employees actually employ to stay ahead of the curve in this dynamic digital transformation landscape?
Yeah, so I think both employees as well as organizations as well. Like I said, it's a culture of constant learning. It's a journey. And often the challenges that employees and SMEs have is we don't really have the time, and we don't really have the resources that's needed to upskill ourselves, or for SMEs, spending the investments that's needed to upskill workers. And this is where I feel that in the coming year, or in the near future, the Malaysian government will be definitely rolling out a lot more initiatives to help SMEs to train and to build up the skill sets of the workers as part of all the strategic initiatives that are being rolled out. I also encourage each of us to embrace AI, tinker with it, and not only experiment on your own. There are a lot of forums online, or networking sessions, or sharing sessions that usually held by the leaders in the technology space. That's all around in Malaysia, and I would encourage everyone to join and embrace it.
And perhaps before we end this session, could you briefly enlighten us how critical is the skills gap in the workforce in AI right now, and what ways should Malaysian companies prioritize AI training and also upskilling initiatives to effectively bridge the existing skills gap right now? Simon.
Yeah. So if I look at it, AI has been democratized because of the explosion of Gen AI over the last 2 to 3 years, and a lot of the AI solutions out there are actually catered towards people or people like you and me who may not have a very strong AI or technology background, and that would be really meaningful for organizations to take it. The curve is actually not as steep as before, and I'm sure we have all experienced it, using ChatGPT or Gemini in our own daily lives. AI is definitely here to stay. It can make our work more meaningful, and it can help companies be more competitive. And I would say as technology evolves, we need to be prepared to adapt to practices. It's going to be a very fast-paced transformation, right? The world is going to get more complex every day. But I think businesses need to embrace a fresh approach and that makes and let AI make the work easier, not harder. And part of that, employers should focus a lot on reskilling. We should look at the organization and the employees and see how you can provide career progression, employee engagement as well, and build trust in AI-powered workspaces. So one thing that organizations have also done is to integrate AI with strategic workforce planning. And I believe that Malaysia is positioning itself as a leading digital economy. So one where both businesses and employees can thrive in this digital age. So I'm pretty excited for the future.
We have about 1 minute left. May I could ask, we are moving towards a HV, high growth, high value nation, also economy as a whole. So how does this AI in the workforce can actually help move us towards that, in your opinion, Simon?
Yeah, so agility. So the most, I would say the most impactful thing that AI can deliver for an organization is agility. So take an example. Early adopters of AI that we surveyed, they're getting 42% productivity gains. So imagine a 42% productivity gains within your organization. That competitive edge is undeniable. And for anyone who's looking for high growth, looking towards high value work, that productivity gains would then allow us to leverage our mental capacity to really drive and think about the innovation and the impact that we want to deliver. So at a fundamental core of it, that's AI is harnessed properly. That's the kind of power that we can deliver to organizations, to the economy, and to ourselves as well.
Indeed, the future belongs to those who embrace change and also evolve with the technology. And the AI-driven workplace is no longer a distant vision, and it's happening now. So thank you so much to Simon Ma, the Managing Director, Asia at Freshworks. And you can find this whole discussion on all of our social media platforms, and that includes astroawani.com.